Before you even get started, I'm going to create a folder where we'll be putting all our student contact information into. So I'm going to come into New and click on Folder, and I'll call it Student Contact Information. And hit Create. Now I'm going to go back into New, go down to More, and over to Forms. When it brings up the form, I'm going to come here where it says Untitled Form, and I'm going to rename it. So I'm going to call it Student Contact Information. I'm going to come right up here and double click on this, and that'll take the student contact information that I wrote and put it there. My first question is going to be the student's first name. I'm going to change it from multiple choice to a short answer. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to change this from first to last. I'm going to come down here and make it required. I should have made that first one required. All you have to do if you forget something is to just click back in that box and make it required. I'm going to come back down here. I'm going to hit the plus sign. This is how you add more questions. Now I'm going to write street address. I'm going to put a number 1 next to it. That way there, if the child lives in 2 places, they can put the 1 down and then the second. Then I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to change it from street address to city, in case they live in several different towns. I'm going to duplicate it again, and I'm going to put zip code. And I'm going to now redo, and I'm going to say street address 2. And you can change that to primary and secondary if you wanted to. I'll duplicate that, say city, and I'll duplicate that to say zip code. Next, I'm going to again come here, and I'm going to ask it for the phone number, so I'll write home phone, and again I'm going to put a 1, and that's going to be another short answer. And I have options here that if I wanted to, I could come and say data validation, and I can say that the number, that the length has to be, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10 characters long if I wanted to. So I could validate it if I wanted to. I'm going to duplicate that, home phone number 2. I'm going to again come down here, and I'll write mother's cell number. Again, short answer. Duplicate that, change that from mother to father. And I'm going to duplicate that to students. And then I will go down here and do the emergency. Since this is a real simple form and all we're really doing is short answers, I'm duplicating most of it. So I'm going to say emergency person name, and I'll say emergency person phone number. And this one here, I'll spice it up, and I'll say emergency person's relationship. And I'm going to change this to be a drop down, and I'm going to say mother, father, uncle, aunt, grandparent, and friend. And there's all my questions. Now I'm going to come up here to the add-on. Before that, let's change it. I'm not a big purple fan, so I'm going to come into the color palette. I can change the color if I want, or I can come down here and actually change a picture. If I had a picture of my classroom that I wanted to put up there, I could come over here and upload the full picture. But I'm just going to come down here and pick something quick. So I'll pick these pencils and say select. And there, that's what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to come over here to my add-on. If you don't have any add-ons, when you click on here, you can select more. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to come down to one that's called Form Publisher. Form Publisher is going to take whatever information you have, store it in the spreadsheet, as well as create a form that you can print off for yourself. So I'm going to come here, Form Publisher, and I'm going to say Get Started. So it gives me an option. What do I want? Do a spreadsheet or a document? I want a document. Do I have a document, or I want them to create one? I'm going to say, please create it, and you'll see why in a second. It creates it. It's gone through all my questions and then gave me a green, yep, it'll use every single one I have there. So now I hit next. And do I have a Drive folder? Yes, remember we created one, so I'm going to say yes. And it's going to show me the last folder that I created. So I'm going to click that and say select. And now it's going to say that that's the folder it's going into. This is how it's going to be created. And I want to keep the increment. I'm going to say next. If I wanted to add some people onto this right now, I could add them. Otherwise, I'm just going to hit next because I want this just for myself. And now it says, let's give it a shot. So I'm going to hit try it. And here it is here. So my student first name, I'm going to write best student street road nowhere 1 2 3 4 5. I don't have a second address. I go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Oh, and look, I've made a mistake here. I have this as a drop down, so we'll have to go back in and fix that. So to do that, before I even hit submit, I'm going to come back here and I want to leave this and come back to the fix it and come back down. It was the phone number. So I'm going to come down. Oh, I've really upset my thing now. Huh, interesting. I don't know why it says that it's a short. I don't know. That's interesting. Okay, now I'm going to try it again. So we'll come here and I'm going to do my name, student, best student, street, city. Now, I didn't make any of these required, so I could just blow them off if I wanted to. This is interesting. I'm not sure why it's giving me that, but that's okay. And that's all I'm going to say right now, and I'm just going to hit submit. And it's gone and done its work. Now I'm going to go back to my Google Drive. And if I come into the student contact information, you'll see the form that we just created. And it looks like this. And it's okay. It's kind of all grouped together. What I really want to do is I want to go back to my drive. And I'm going to go all the way down past my folders. A lot of folders. And I'm going to select this Form Publisher template. That's the template that we just created. So I'm going to change this. So it says student contact information. I'm going to write 1617 because that's what it's going to be for. And then I want my student last name. I just want that to be on the same line as this. I'm going to come down here. There's my street information. And I'm going to insert a line right in between it. Boom. And there's my next. Again, I'm going to insert a nice line. Okay, here's my phone numbers. Those are home phones, cell phones, and then there's my emergency information. So here I could actually write, let me put another line here. I can come up right here and write main address. And then I could highlight this, bold it, and actually make it a little bit bigger. And if I wanted to, I could do this. And then I could write secondary address. Again, make it a little bigger. I'm going to bold it, and I'm going to center it. And then I'll write phone numbers. Make it a little bigger, bold, center. And then I'll put one more line here, just so it's all broken up nicely. And I'm going to put emergency information. Again, bold, make it bigger, bold it, and center it. So now there's my information there. And now I'm going to go back to my original form, and I'm going to close this out again, come back here, and I'm going to pick Form Publisher, and I'm going to change the template. The template I'm going to change is the one that we just changed up, so it makes it look nicer. So I'm going to click on the pencil to change it. It goes out and finds the last document that I worked on. And there it is. So I'm going to click that, select, I'm going to save. And now I'm going to go back in and preview it. And I'm going to say student again. And 123 Street. And I'm not going to put anything else down for right now. I'm just going to hit submit. So now when we go back into my drive and we go into my student contact information, here's the form that we created. It put a 2 on there because I asked it to increment each time. I'm going to open it up, and now there's my form that I've created. Again, you can change it up. If you needed to put a letterhead on the top, you could do that as well. And then you have your option of printing. And that's it.